take a nice deep breath, be right where you are. You got to get into the body, you got to be right where you are. Be right where you are. That's the topic, be right where you are. See, people don't want to be right where they are. That's why this book that I'm finishing up is called Be There Now, because nobody wants to be here. Because they say, well, when I get there, then I'll be happy. Well, really? So you're going to be miserable until you get there? Is that how you do it, you know? And somebody like that sports guy, there's no gain without pain. Well, yeah, gain and pain, pleasure and pain in this reality go together, because we've said that opposites attract. And what we do with that is called relativity. This is a concept. This is part of the infection in the mind, how it splits everything. It causes us, instead of coming from and being from our wholeness, then we're divided, we're separated, we're fractured, we have different timelines. I'm really not interested in any of your timelines. I'm a divine being, you see. And when you're now, you can't get to the now. No. People say, well, how do I get to the now? It's always the mind. You say, how do I get there? And it's you're already there. And what that means is whatever you think there is going to be for you, like you say, well, then we're finally there, we'll be free. So wonder if you're free now, but what you're bringing into this moment is the past, what you read in the papers, what you see on the internet. And if you're going to do this stuff, research alternative and mainstream, and I don't watch that. Know what people are up to and what they're doing. But you see what you have to do, because these are the people you're dealing with in the outside world, and you could let these people take you down in some way because they're the stories, the narratives, and all that. You have to be discerning yourself and not attached to any political party, any particular group, any particular person, because you have to do your own research and you want the absolute truth. That's what we're doing here. And the absolute truth is you. And now is you. And it's interesting, the word now on the other side is one, spelled backwards. And then everybody's into the oneness movement. No. You have to have it both, one and many. And see, half-truths are what people are dealing with. I'm just a half-truth. Like, I'm only going to do food that's, what do they call it, alkaline, and I won't do any acid. Well, the body needs both. It's different, Or I'm only going to do just animal, the acid high because I'm tough and I'm a cowboy and I just eat junk food every day, because I can, and I'm not a wuss. Stop this. And it's all this stuff. We're trying to fulfill a role. We're trying to be what other people want. We want to be in the group, and so then you got to go along. You got to just to get along, and it's not really even who we are. Okay, so that's the deal. Is you're already there, and you got to get in. Be right here now, and that means the more you can get into the body, and that I don't mean just your senses, but when you're eating something, first of all, you're putting that into your mouth, and the digestion is right under the tongue. So what are you putting there? Can the body digest that? And there's probably not even organic is true anymore. Only because, so you got to build your own soil. You got to see the thing. You could live off greens. People don't know this. We're all programmed. I'm going to have all this. Oh, we're going to die. We're going to do this. Stop. You're so powerful, you'll create it. And you have to know this. That's why there's constant stuff about you're not here. You're going to get this. You're going to go there. When that happens, blah, blah. And when you're free, then you can be who you are. Why don't you start now? What do you mean? Then it's all of a sudden all in an instant. Well, it is instant because it's always now. And it won't happen unless you are there now. And it's the whole thing. And I remember, too, how when I started really working on stuff, and I knew that I wanted to have a television ministry, but I knew not to tell anyone because everybody's going to say, well, who do you think you are? And nobody's going to show up. And where are you going to get the money? And People won't like you, and other people love you, and it was blah, 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 blah. They're all going to tell stuff. I knew that I had a message to give, and I knew I had work to do, and it was, however that is, that's where I felt really directed and guided as a minister and working in spiritual matters, because really for myself, because that's where I started to get help. Don't just disc everything because there's a lot of lies and this in it. It's because so many people, we've been taught to lie. We've been taught to pretend. We've been taught to do that, so we have a job, we have this and all this. This is now, we've got to really, because you're an eternal being, and the freedom you desire, you already have. All of the eternity that you think, people say, well, they died and they went to God. You're already with the divine. We're right there together. They say, oh, and then in my next life, because see, I was going to say in my next life, I was going to be an opera singer. Because they looked like they had a really great time. You got all these guys bringing you flowers and champagne and chocolates, I guess, and the applause, but to experience a voice. So when I'd been around here, like they call 50 years in the time game, I thought, well, I haven't done it. And so I just opened myself. I desire to experience the fullness of my voice. So what happens? Divine magic. One of my students then became a dear friend, told me about her voice teacher, because she knew I liked to sing, and the maestro, David Kyle, the greatest teacher ever was. He fabulous. Trained the voice in the line. A Benamino Gili in the line. A Maria Callas in the line. You see, oh my gosh, Caruso, and all of them. Dominique Placido, all of them. They learned the same exercises. And those same exercises will train anybody's voice who does the exercise. Awesome. Awesome, you see. And then there's the difference, he said, between the greats and the Grady Greats. A Grady Great. See, greats, they know the rules. They know how to do it. They know the mechanics of it. And they could do it, but they haven't moved it into the transcendental, into the divine, you see. And when the Grady Greats use the techniques, use the teaching. It's not about believing, it's applying and using. And the key is then you'll know you don't need beliefs, because and that's why I do this work. This is what this is about for you, and to share it with others, to watching these videos and these things that I do then in counseling. I don't call mine coaching, because I'm not really into the game with winners and losers and how you're going to be great, blah blah. No, this is about the fullness and the wholeness in every area. Your work, your life's work, the environment you're in, the relationships you're in, the health and vitality of your body, and knowing and being who you are beyond these generating fears and guilts and all of this limitations and lack and torture of animals and humans and all of this kind of thing. You see, and what it is to do it, you have to be right here. That means practice the breathing. Use our videos, work with them. Get yourself in nature right where you are. Get some plants if you need to around your house. Start taking care of them. Learn how this life works here, really. And then you won't be thinking you need all the stuff you had to have that you've been told you need to have, that you worked your entire life for. That's why I keep my daughter's ashes of her former body right there on my porch with flowers around for her. But everything you do for that, temporary, there it goes. But what you do for you, that when the time you're ready, not even time, but as you keep awakening you and throwing off that isn't, and the stuff, the layers start going and going, and then you are lifted out, because you're not even out, the other falls away, and others think you have aged. Other people think that the body is dead, because that's what you left behind, because you're no longer there, and you have to do it now. And it comes, be right in where you are. Step outside the story. You see, outside that. Be there. Now, be here.